So what do you think of Nike's new checkout system, which includes the image verification process?
I think Nike's very concerned about the amount of people who are able to get around the walls that they have to prevent early buying on or dominating the buying. And I think this is an attempt to get that back under control again. I'm not sure it worked 100%, and I think people who know how to pull these tricks on the internet are going to come up with a way to get around it.
Of course.
But my gut is that this is going to deter it to some degree. I think Nike really wants to support the loyal fans, the people who buy the shoes out of love, not the people who are buying their shoes to flip them on eBay for 3 times and 4 times the price. That's not what Nike is in the business of doing, is creating a secondary market. They want to make shoes for the people who really care about the footwear.
So what is your opinion on resellers, and do you think Nike will ever find a way to finally defeat the resellers?
I think resellers have hurt the marketplace. I think it's really prevented people who have a genuine affection for the footwear to get shoes that they want, or they have to pay a lot more money than they ought to be paying for those shoes. And I think Nike's going to continue to work for ways of getting their shoes in the hands of the fans who really care about the footwear.
So from a numbers standpoint, what is the largest and best-selling segment in footwear?
Running is the biggest segment in footwear. Last year was about $7 billion out of the $22 billion in retail sales in the U.S. And it's also the biggest category worldwide.
So what brand sells the most in that segment?
In running?
Yes.
Nike has the largest market share in running, about 63%.
Which of the popular non-Jordan shoes have had, the most consistency in terms of best-selling?
Last year, Nike Free was the number 1 selling shoe in terms of dollars. The Nike Monarch 4, which always gets a chuckle when I talk about it because it's an old school shoe meant for dads, is the biggest selling unit shoe in the Nike stable. The next biggest selling unit shoe actually is a woman's thong called the Comfort Thong. So it really shows how broad the Nike base is and how broad the sneaker business is. That it's while the sneaker head piece of the business is important, it's really relatively small compared to the total industry.